Hello, everybody. How are you doing? Once again, this is Jeffrey Daniel coming to you from Abuja, Nigeria. Today is November 14th, 2020. Okay? Now, I know that there are the obvious things that are going on in the media right now and in the world, the events that happen, the current event. But I just don't want to just weigh in on the obvious. I'm sure you guys are getting enough of that information. You're seeing enough of it. In fact, it's overkill. What Trump is doing, him denying the elections, trying to call it fraud. I don't want to talk about that, okay? I think I want to talk about something a little more, I think something much more important than that, a little more urgent than that. And in fact, I'm coming to you like, I don't know. First of all, I want to say thank you to everybody who follows my post. I appreciate all of your feedback and all of, what you guys are responding to me and giving me your likes. If you want to subscribe and all that kind of stuff, hey, it's up to you guys, Like I said, I'm not into the numbers game as far as like how many followers I get, that type of thing. I'm just trying to disseminate certain information that's pertinent to our survival and what's going on. I'm still riding with you. I got my riding beard. My beard is getting, look at this. I have never wore a beard for one whole year straight in my life. This is the first year that I've ever worn a beard all the way through. So I'm just getting used to it now. I don't know. I might not shave it. The next Shalimar concert, I just might be out there, the second beard around. You never know. So, so anyway, you guys, I just want to say hello to everybody. I hope you guys are doing good. I hope you guys are doing fine and preparing for what's going on in the world. Everywhere, there's trouble everywhere. We had the NSARS movement here in Nigeria that got a little bit out of hand. Got a lot of it out of hand. What you guys are dealing with there politically and socially and racially in America. But I don't want to talk about that. Here's what I want to talk about, okay, you guys. Now, you know what? Now, usually, sometimes I speak in terms of, racial groups and things like that to describe certain things because, it's a description due to our various behavioral attributes, But this post, I'm going in on all of you collectively. I'm going in on everybody. I don't care if you're black, you're white, you're yellow, you're brown, you're purple, you're orange, whatever you are. I'm going in on everybody on this post, and I'm going to tell you why. I see people booking flights to fly out for the holidays. I see people making your usual annual holiday plans. Okay, let me ask you something. If a hurricane was due to approach at your local beach, would you plan on going surfing? Or would you plan a picnic and you know that a hurricane is coming? Or a hurricane is approaching? If a volcano was erupting up in Yosemite, Yosemite Park, one of those big volcanoes going off that they're, predicting that's going to like take out half of the west side of the United States. If a volcano was going off, or in Japan, if a volcano was going off, would you plan on going hiking in that mountain? So why in the hell are people still planning the holiday seasons in the middle of the worst pandemic in over 100 years? I mean, we almost had to slap Japan upside their fat heads to make them postpone the 2020 Olympics until next year. As I said before in my other posts, people do not react to change in real time. It's like a deer crossing the road at night and the headlights are coming, and they're just standing there and they see the headlights coming. It's like, is that the sun coming up? What is that? And they're standing there watching the headlights coming until it hits them. And that's how people are behaving with this pandemic. I know your Halloweens, your Thanksgiving, your Christmas, your New Year's, your Valentine's Day, then your Easters and whatever holidays in between. I know you guys are used to these things, but if it could save your life, if it could save the life of others, don't you think that we can miss it for just 1 year? If we just stop for 1 year to allow this thing to run its course or find ways to eradicate this thing or get the right, vaccinations or whatever it is that we need are the right medicines. You guys, we're in a state of emergency. We're in a state of emergency, and people are still, oh, well, I don't want to miss Halloween. The kids go out and get candy. Oh, we don't want to miss Thanksgiving. I know it's nice for families to get together for Thanksgiving. I understand that. But can we just miss it once to allow this thing to, get out of our society? Can we give ourselves a chance to get over this thing? And this is what I want to talk about. So, you know what? What I really want to talk about are holidays in itself. People, why do we even follow holidays? Why do we even go into holidays? Do you even know what holidays are for? Do you even know the meaning of these holidays that you're willing to risk your life for? Or your health, or the health and lives of other people for? Do you even know what these holidays are for? What they represent? Do you even know? Do you even know what the word holiday means? The word holiday comes from the Old English word, and I'm trying to pronounce this properly, H-A-L-I-G, halig, which means holy. And D-A-E-G, dag, which means day. I guess that's halig day. Originally reserved for observance of pagan religious rituals. Much later, adapted for tradition of cultural events and a day of rest and vacation, as we know today as holidays. So originally, it was meant for what they considered these holy pagan events. So, is Halloween a holy day? Is Thanksgiving a holy day? Now, Christians are meant to believe that Christmas is a holy day. But I'll get into that in a minute. New Year's, is it holy? Is Valentine's Day a holy day? And once again, Christians are meant to believe that Easter is a holy day. Okay, I'll start with Thanksgiving. Now, the origins of Thanksgiving was created by the Pilgrims after their first harvest in the New World. It was new to them. The indigenous people were there thousands of years before the Pilgrims arrived, okay? So, but the Pilgrims supposedly, and this is a story, we can only take it as serious as what, They tell us that the Pilgrims went there and they planted something and they had their first harvest and they fired off their guns and their cannons and started the hell out of the, what did we have over there? We had the Wampanoag, Wampanoag, the Wampanoag Native Indians. I don't know how to pronounce that properly. Sorry, I've never heard it before. So, So, according to one of the attendees by the name of Edward Winslow, in 1621, this Thanksgiving feast lasted a few days, and it was attended by 90 native and 53 pilgrims, according to Edward Winslow. And so that was supposed to be the beginning of the Thanksgiving feast. And we all know how it worked out for the Indians. Because, we know who's running the government and running the country there, and we know who's running the casinos on reservations there are displaced. So we all know how it worked out for them in the end. Why would you guys even want to celebrate a day like that? When you know that the Pilgrims came over, let's follow their narrative. Let's say they did have a dinner together and it was a feast and everything. But look how it turned out. We know that the Indians were massacred. We know they are wiped out. We know they wiped out the bison, which is called the buffalo, just in order to help get rid of the Indians. We know all the wars, from General Custer to all the other, things that went on. And I grew up in America watching cowboy and Indian movies. Yeah, I'm that old, you guys. Sorry, I'm that old. But I grew up watching cowboy and Indian, and the Indians were always the savages. Look at the savage Indians, the savage Indians. All along, these people were just fighting for their homeland. They were fighting for the survival of their people. And they told us that they were savages. And we want to get together with our families and celebrate the demise and the decimation of all these savage tribal people that were spread all across America. I heard there's something like about 400 million or 40 million or 400 million Indians in the various tribes all the way across America, all the way up to the Canadas and whatever like that. You know, I mean, there's a deep, rich history that they don't even tell us about. They don't even talk to us about that. They don't teach it in schools. They only teach it from the European perspective. Okay, so now that we all even know the true meaning of Thanksgiving and how it actually worked out for the native people, why would we want to get together and celebrate something like that? That's like, excuse me, that's like the Jews getting together and celebrating Hitler, creating the Holocaust. What sense would that make? Why would they get together and celebrate the time that Hitler threw all the Jews in the concentration camps? The Jews wouldn't do nothing like that. So why are we celebrating Thanksgiving in the first place? Now, for those of you who just thought, well, it's just a holiday. It's just a thing for families to get together. Yes, it's nice for families to get together. That's beautiful. But do you have to do it this year? This is what I'm talking about. This is what this post is about. Why don't you guys wake up before the headlights come and and take you out? Because we're in the middle of a pandemic, and like now cases are getting exponentially higher in America and in Europe right now. And that's what's happening because people didn't properly lock down and take all the the proper precautions ahead of time. So now, and plus, it's just the natural flu and influenza season. As the Earth it tilts further away from the sun, and it goes in its ecliptic, orbit around the sun. It swings away from the sun, and now it's getting colder. So we're getting less sunlight, less vitamin D, natural vitamin D from the sun on the northern hemisphere of the planet. And therefore, you go into your annual flu and influenza season. So, on top of it, COVID-19 is here. So, and you guys understand that the cold, the flu, influenza, they're all coronaviruses. It's just that this one is coronavirus 19, this deadly one. So I think that's where a lot of cases are coming in. I'm not a denier. I'm not saying COVID-19 isn't real, but a lot of times people, they can find influenza in you or whatever like that. They say, okay, there's a coronavirus, which it is a coronavirus, but it's not coronavirus 19. Okay, so I'm not trying to get into that, but I'm just letting you guys know that season is upon us. So you're going to start getting cases coming in and people coming. Already hospitals are getting overwhelmed and it's just starting. The season's just starting off. So anyway, okay. Now that's Thanksgiving, you guys. And you still want to celebrate it? You still want to go out and celebrate Thanksgiving? The destruction of the native people in America? Okay. Let's get to Christmas. Now I know I was born and raised in Christianity. Don't get me wrong. I was born and raised a Christian. My mother was, my grandmother was, my great-grandmother was. So don't you think I have a right to criticize or speak on a faith that my family and my generations have been so indoctrinated into? I have a right to speak on it. So all you Christians out there, if I'm stepping on your toes, I have a right to do that. I have a right. I was a Christian most of my life, and we believe that it is the birth of Jesus Christ on December 25th. Okay? You guys may have heard of this before. I'm not sure, but you know what it is? It started before Rome because it started with the ancient Egyptians, okay? And I know, the evil Egyptians. That's what you guys have been told in the Bible. So therefore, you guys have been told not to venerate your own ancestors because they're supposed to be so evil and wicked. That's what they do. But as far as the Europeans, in Rome, 25th of December was to celebrate the unconquered sun, S-U-N. It's the winter equinox, marking the end of shorter days and the return of longer days. Now, if any of you doubt this, you can see this for yourself. And I'll tell you how. We're going into the shorter days now of the year, right? And the shortest day of the year is around the 22nd, 23rd, somewhere around there. Then from the 25th, the days begin to get longer again until in June is the longest day of the year. So the first time I was in Europe when that happened, I was in Amsterdam, Holland. It was in the early 80s when I was doing my thing with Shalimar and that. And I was in Amsterdam, Holland, and I landed there that day. And at 6 in the evening, 7 in the evening, the sun was up at 12 noon. And we were out, and I was like, what time is it? I said, oh, it's 7 o'clock. I said, 7 o'clock? Your clock must be wrong. They said, no, it's 7 o'clock. 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock at night, the sun was looked like it was about 5 in the evening. 11 o'clock at night, 12 o'clock, the sun was just barely going down. By 3 in the morning, you can see the sun coming up again. It's the longest day of the year at that time, right? And that is the, we get the spring equinox. That is the spring equinox. So here we are in the winter equinox, going to the shortest day of the year. And in December, it gets to the very shortest day. And then by December 25th, that's the birth of the sun. S-U-N, the solar sun. Okay? Now, I'm going to show you how you guys can do this. Wherever you live, wherever you are. If I saw it from here in Africa. I saw it as plain as day. You could probably see it from where you are. When you get to December 25th, okay, here's what you do. Go out and see which direction the sun is coming up. And no, so whatever buildings or houses are around you, see where the sun comes up there from Christmas, okay, December 25th. Then as the weeks go by, December 26th, 7th, 8th, and 9th, notice where the sun starts coming up from. Then weeks later, notice where the sun starts coming up from. Then weeks later, notice where the sun starts coming up from. And you can see it for yourselves. And it happens every year around that time. And that's the 6-month period from December to June, and then from June back to the next December. And that is the winter equinox and then the spring equinox. Okay? So you guys can see it for yourselves. Don't take it from me. Go see it for yourself. Experiment, research, do it, check it out. Okay? So in Rome, 25th was celebrated for the unconquered sun, the winter equinox marking the end of the shorter days, return of the longer days. It wasn't until the 4th century that the church officials decided to institute the birth of Jesus as a holiday, holy day. First calling it the Feast of Nativity, okay? That's what it was first called, not Christmas yet. It was called the Feast of Nativity. Spreading it to Egypt by the year 432. Common Era. Okay, now check this out. And I'm going to let you guys see how this goes. Because in 432, Egypt was occupied by who? The Romans. It was a Roman occupation. That's why the Roman church, what they had going on, it went to Egypt because Egypt was part of the Roman Empire. It was part of the empire from 30 BC until the 4th century, okay? Then it was taken to England by the 6th century. Common Era. What did England have in common? Occupied by the Romans from the 4th century until the 8th century. Common Era. So all these things that were under the Roman Empire, this whole thing of the nativity was taken throughout their empire because it's what the Romans had established. For you guys who are living in America and other places, you might not even know this history. Do you know that Great Britain was established by the Romans because it was called Britannia? Do you know that London was established by the Romans because it was called Londinium? and it was shortened to London. They built the first roads in London, which is the main highway. I think it was called the A1, or I think, if I'm not mistaken, the A1 highway. The town of Bath, which the Romans built the hot baths and stuff, which are still there today. So the Romans had occupied these places, and that's why they took their culture there. Okay? So by the year 529 CE, after Christianity became the official state religion of the Roman Empire, instituted by Emperor Justinian, he made Christmas a civic holiday, replacing the worship of the equinox solar sun, S-U-N, with the Holy Son of God, S-O-N. That's what it is, you guys. Now, I know Christians are going to want to kill me because all they do is read the Bible. They don't study outside of the Bible to understand empirical historical facts. They don't want to understand irrefutable historical facts that are verified by various sources. They just know the Bible is all you need. And if it's not in the Bible, it's not real. No, see, that's the word of man. Who wrote the Bible? Okay, so that's the word of man, and you're just thinking with your own mind, who made me in his own image? I don't want to get into the tit for tat and this and that with Christians, because I used to believe it too. I used to believe it too, you guys. And I didn't just pick up one thing and just turn myself around. I had to get, multiple sources from various sources. And I saw the information, and I just saw the facts, and I just saw the knowledge, and it's like, wow. Anyway, let me get on with this, you guys, because I'm going to keep this going, okay? Did you guys know that in 1990, now this is in ancient times, in 1990 in Solon, Ohio, the school board banned all nativity and Christmas scenes on any school property. Now, the parents challenged the ruling, noted that it was depriving their children of the holy day, so it was reinstated on the grounds that the court affirmed that Christmas had no Christian roots whatsoever. They knew that it wasn't associated with Christ, or the religion. They knew this. Nearly all aspects of Christmas observance have roots in Roman customs and religion. And the only people that you can't tell this to are Christians. So, in saying this, is it really worth risking your life for these ambiguous holidays? I know you guys need to go shopping, you need to buy gifts, you need to put up Christmas trees, you need to spend money, you're expecting presents from different people. Even relationships break up. Oh, he only got you that for Christmas. Oh, this is what he got, This is what it's become. Even for you guys, it has nothing to do with Christ or religion. Even though it's supposed to be the birth of Christ. You guys don't even observe that yourself. Children are waiting for Santa Claus to bring them toys. They're not waiting for Jesus. They're not thinking about Christ. They sing, "Oh, holy night and silent night, holy night." We sing all these, the drummer boy, da rum bum bum. So we sing all these Christmas carols and stuff, but after that, kids are waiting for toys. They're waiting for Santa Claus. They ain't thinking about Jesus. And you grown folks, you ain't thinking about Jesus. You're thinking about what somebody getting you for Christmas, where they're taking you for Christmas. You hope to get a car for Christmas. You hope to get a fur coat. You hope to get a ring for Christmas. You hope to get a new iPhone for Christmas. You're hoping to get an iPad or a brand new PC. This is what Christmas is. It's the biggest spending spree annually. Billions and billions of dollars worth of spending. So I know the governments are going to be, going to take a hit if we don't go out for Christmas. But you guys can take a health hit if you don't just put aside the holiday season for 1 year. For 1 year. Is it going to kill you not to run out and make a fool of yourselves just for 1 year? They help save your lives. They help save potentially help save some. I know people out there because there's so much contention because there wasn't any concise leadership at the top. So, wearing a mask ain't going to save us. Social distancing, this and that. Why do we got to do this? Why do we have to lock down? Da, 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 da. So I know all these things are contentious and tumultuous and all these things are going on like this. But you guys, should we try something? Can we try something at least to see if it works? Because the cases are now going up. Cases are now going up. And hospitals are starting to get overwhelmed. It could be you in that hospital. It could be your loved one in that hospital. And all we have to do is just chill and see how it goes, okay? So anyway, let me continue. You will not die if you don't have a Super Bowl, but you will die from coronavirus. You will not die if we don't have a World Series, but you will die. You could die from coronavirus. You will not die if we don't have any major sporting events. And what's happening with some of the sports players, even the famous soccer player, was it Cristiano Ronaldo, or whatever his name is, because I don't follow sports. He has coronavirus. He came down with it. Other team members are coming down with coronavirus because they're trying to keep things going as usual when we're being hit with the biggest pandemic in our lifetime. What is wrong with people? I don't know. So, okay, that's Christmas. What do we have next? Valentine's Day. We don't need to go into that. And you know what? It is funny if you guys can go and research the origins of these holidays. You got to be careful because you're going to keep finding the generic version of it. But when you dig deeper and you find the pagan, if you guys just Google or go and search the pagan origins of Halloween, the pagan origins of Christmas, the pagan origins of Valentine's Day or Easter, you guys will be surprised. You'll be surprised. You find that the holidays aren't so holy at all. Okay? So, Valentine's Day, okay, here we go. And I know some people are looking like, oh, he just wants to destroy our holidays. They just want to take away our freedom. They just want to take away our First and Second Amendments. I just want to live. Easter. I'm really bashing on Christians because this is what I came out of. I came out of Christianity, and I used to be Christian. I'm not saying I hate Christians. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, you guys, we don't think. We don't think why we're Christians, how we got into this religion, and what it's really doing to us or for us. Easter. I was going to say something a little more rude. Howard Hewitt taught me a lesson because I started getting into the knowledge more deeper a few years ago. And I kind of insulted him, and I had to, I apologize because I was so gung-ho and, I said, well, this and that and that. So I don't want to insult anyone. I don't want to insult anyone. But if the truth hurts you, you have to deal with that because the truth is the truth. Remember what I said the last post about the uncomfortable truths? We have to face these uncomfortable truths, you guys, because they're the truth. You can't just cushion yourself on a false truth just because it's more comfortable. And if you want to do that, okay, that's your choice. God bless you. Good luck with that. So we have to go to Easter. If anyone is celebrating Easter Sunday, and if you call yourself a Christian, you need your head examined. You really need your head examined. Hold on, listen to me, hold up, hear me. If you're a Christian and you're celebrating Easter, you need your head examined. Because if you're really a devout Christian and if you understood your religion, you shouldn't even celebrate Easter at all. You should be celebrating the resurrection. It should be called the Resurrection Sunday, not Easter. Now, do you know where Easter even comes from? Easter goes back to the name of a pre-Christian goddess in England. Let me say that again. Easter goes back to the name of a pre-Christian goddess. So if it's pre-Christian, how could it have anything to do with Christ? The name is Eostre. That is one of the later names. How will you pronounce that? Eostre. Eostre. I haven't heard it, so I'm just reading it, you guys. So if I'm mispronouncing it, please forgive me. So it's in England, it was called, and remember, England is just another branch of Rome, okay, which is a branch from Greek. It's all one thing, you guys, and you'll find this out if you look, if you dig it up. So it goes back to the, let's just say us, Esther, okay? Also celebrated at the beginning of the spring, known as Esther Moth, Esther Monath, okay? This is Old English, you guys, so, you know, they're tongue twisters speaking Old English, Shakespearean and the Old English. But at the beginning of the spring, it was known as Esther Monath, which is abbreviated to Esther to Easter, okay? When is Easter Sunday celebrated? At the beginning of spring. This goes back to this pagan holiday, you guys, which is pre-Christian. Had nothing to do with Christ. They weren't thinking about it. So it's at the beginning of spring. In early American history, Easter was mostly popular among the Catholics. Catholics. Where is the head of the Catholic Church? Rome. As the New England Puritans regarded Christmas and Easter too tainted by non-Christian influences. So even the early New England Puritans, they said that Christmas and Easter was too tainted by non-Christian influences. Such festivals were only opportunities for heavy drinking and merrymaking. Now, do you guys go back to these words, merrymaking? You know what merrymaking means? Orgy, sexual promiscuity. That's what they were doing for Christmas and Easter. They were involved in heavy drinking and heavy merrymaking. Going back to the pagan Babylonian goddess Astar, Astarte, Astarte, okay? That's the Babylonian goddess, associating with the name Ishtar, or Ashtoreth, and Venus, and other systems of gods and goddesses, finding their origins all the way back to Nimrod and his wife, Semira, okay, let me get this. Semiramis, okay, and the Tower of Babel, making every primary god and figure of Nimrod and every primary goddess a figure of Semiramis. Yes, Semiramis. Okay, that's her name. Semiramis. Yeah, Semiramis. That's her name. Semiramis. Okay. Now think about this. Nimrod's wife's name was Semiramis. Semiramis. Is this funny? Semiramis, Semite, Semitic, Semiramis. When you guys go back to the old words before English, things start connecting. Dots start connecting. That's another thing. Okay. So anyway, Nimrod's wife was Semiramis. That's her name, Semiramis, and that's going back to the Tower of Babel. This is where Easter comes from. She was the god of fertility, the pagan god of fertility. That's why they got the Easter bunny, because rabbits, they multiply very quickly and they don't lay eggs. So there ain't no Easter eggs. See how everything just got misconstrued from the rabbit to the Easter bunny to the Easter eggs to Christmas Day to the Resurrection Day. It wasn't until the 4th century that church officials decided to institute the birth of Jesus as a holiday, first calling it that was Christmas. Sorry about that, you guys. Okay, that was Christmas. Okay, but all they did was they tagged on these Christianity things onto these pagan holidays. So hearing these truths, whether you believe it to be evident or not, whether you believe these facts or not, you guys go and research everything I'm telling you, and you can find this out for yourselves. But after hearing this, do you still want to go out there and break your neck to celebrate these holidays? Well, there's a pandemic going on. It's crazy, you guys. They just tried to reconvene this cruise ship. I forgot the name of this cruise ship. So they put this cruise ship out there, and they only allowed so many people to get on it this time. They didn't fill it up to capacity, and they had the most strict social distancing measures imaginable. And guess what? Coronavirus still broke out on that ship. It's out there now. And what they're going to do, they're going to go to a certain port, and if anybody can test negative, they will let them off and fly them back home. So I guess if the people are positive, I guess they're going to keep them on the ship or either get them to some type of a COVID-19 center or something like that to be treated. I don't know. Knowing what the stakes are with this virus, and people are still trying to. I understand we can't just be on total lockdown. I get that. And I'm not for total lockdown. It should be locked down with restrictions, but I think it should be restricted to essential things that we need to eat, to live, survive, and move by. Like I said before, if the governments knew that they had to impose a lockdown on everybody, they should have locked down everything, mortgages, rents, all these things, to make sure that people wouldn't be in debt, because I'm hearing of people being evicted now. People being evicted because it is lockdown. We didn't ask for a lockdown. We didn't bring coronavirus. So why do the people have to pay for it and suffer for it? And when Trump got these stimulus packages, who did he go for? He went to help the big corporations, the multi-million and billion-dollar corporations who already have money. Yes, they took a hit, but they didn't have too far to fall because they already had money. People with the small businesses, the mom and shop plays, the startup companies and stuff, businesses have gone out of business. Sorry, they've gone out of business. People are losing businesses. They're losing jobs. People are starting to lose their homes now. They should have organized a system that would help save everybody. And then once this whole thing is over with, then resume the mortgages or rents and everything, when the jobs come back and when the money is flowing again and people can catch up financially. Why would they string us out like this, knowing what's going on, knowing that they're taken care of? And that's what's going on, you guys. So all I really wanted to talk about today was, do we really need these 2020 holidays? The holiday season is coming up. This is the biggest holiday season coming up right now. Isn't it funny that they're all during the fall and winter time, the coldest time of the year, until you get to Easter going into spring, Resurrection Sundays. You see, you guys, all these allegories and things are starting to reveal themselves that we've been believing in all these years. So anyway, you guys, it's up to you. If you feel that you have to indulge in the holidays this year, what can I say? If you feel that you just can't try to take precautionary measures and try to make sure that you don't go out and catch something, that you don't spread it or get it from other people while this is going on, what can we do? Sorry that our president didn't take the helm and just really help guide us through this thing. He's so busy battling against Joe Biden. He's so busy trying to deny that he actually lost the election. He doesn't even care about coronavirus. That's the last thing on his mind right now, as cases are getting exponentially higher right now in real time. Like I said, people do not react to real time, to change in real time. So that's what's going on right now, you guys. So you have to take care of yourselves. Look out for yourself. You know, Biden and Harris, they're in. They've won the election. Trump is not admitting it. He's not accepting it, but it's not up to him. I'm glad to see that the military generals came out and said that we're here to defend the Constitution, not a leader, not a person. They're there to defend the Constitution. So thank God that some people have their roots grounded with some type of what is democracy or patriotism, or let's hope that there's no violence or anything going out because Trump lost and his supporters are disappointed. Life has to go on, you guys. Life has to go on. So I wish everybody the best. I hope you guys the best. I don't wish you guys a happy holiday season. I wish you guys a safe season. Forget the holidays. We can forget the holidays for once. It'll come next year. We've had them for how many years now? It'll come next year, okay? It'll come next year. Be safe, you guys. As I always say, spread the love, make love great again. Because if we make love great again, we will all be great. You guys know that, right? Okay. Take care. I'm still riding with you. I want you guys to know that I'm still here with you. I'm happy to know that you guys are still here with me. Let's keep this thing going until it's all over. It ain't over until the fat lady sing, and she ain't even put on her choir robe yet, okay? So you guys take care, all right? I love you all. Be cool. You don't have to do these holidays, you guys. Take care of your loved ones and take care of yourselves. That's what's more important than going out and spending money and getting involved in this whole financial circus with these holidays. I think that's more important. Take care. Bye-bye.